Hey there. It is Sit With You Saturday, and it's a little late. Little late. I wanted to set some things up and do some things today, and everything went a different way. I got this 15-pound turkey here. I got a grill, and I'm at the park. That you can see in the background, nice stuff there. Some event going on close to here, I guess. Anyway, so I'm going to get stuff done while I'm talking to you here. Give people a chance to show up for a minute. What today is going to be? Oh, this is A Manard Mitra Yah from Months of the Way. And it's Sit With Me Saturday. I'm going to cover a talk that Buddha gave called Removal. And what happened is a monk showed up and meditated, and then went to Buddha, since Buddha was there, said, "Hey, Buddha, if I'm doing this beginning meditation stuff, does that mean I'm going to be able to give up all this stuff? Is that how it's going to work? I'm going to meditate and this stuff's just going to happen for me?" And spoiler, Buddha said no. Don't want to spoil it for you, but, probably everybody knew about that anyway, right? That was probably going to be the answer. I got a 15-pound turkey donated to me, and I am going to try to cook it. Believe it or not, apparently I'm going to drip juice all over the place while I'm trying to season it. It's going to be a mess. That's life. So let me tell you, I got this lantern. To be here at the park. It's helping out a little bit light, although there are lights here. And I got this bag of charcoal so I could cook the turkey, 15-pound friggin' turkey. And I think this is self-light charcoal. That's what I intended to get. We're going to find out. I hope the sound quality is okay. Once again, MN8, removal. Monk meditates, goes to Buddha, wants to know, hey, is this beginning meditation stuff I'm doing going to make me have given up all this bad stuff? Basically, it's a thing I like to talk to about people when they're like, well, I'm going to change the world because I'm meditating. I'm going to raise the vibration of this planet, its people. That's going to have an effect. Okay, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe not. My question is, are you going to do anything? Everything went wrong, and I'm still here for you today. They locked up the batteries for the lantern to have visual light. The charcoal was moved because it's a seasonal item and it's winter. Couldn't find that. Went to the checkout, had 2 items, had people in front of me with like 30 items per cart. I'm not going to ask if I can get in front of anybody, but did anybody offer? Spoiler, no. No, that didn't happen. Well, I'm going to light this charcoal and then I'm going to read the teaching, what Buddha was talking about with that monk. For those that showed up just a little late, a monk was meditating, wondered how he was doing, what was going to happen, what he could expect. Went to Buddha, said, "Hey, is this beginning meditation stuff I'm doing going to remove all of my bad qualities? Is it going to give me all the good qualities?" And Buddha said no. There's a lot of people that wish Buddha would have said yes. I'm sorry. The answer is no. No. No, you can't sit there on a meditation mat and you're a better person. Is it influential in part of it? I guess I'm talking about meditation on the front end of the talk and at the back end. Normally, I talk about meditation on the back end. So, got some pepper here. Got a 15-pound turkey. Ugh. Got one hand to do everything. I also have some sort of Polish seasoning. I don't know. Salt, herbs, stuff. I am going to throw it all over this turkey. Flip it over. Do it some more. Try to make this turkey nice and happy. Then I'm going to take some pepper. I'm going to sprinkle that pepper around on top of that turkey. I don't know how many people like turkey. If you like turkey, you're probably happy hearing what I'm saying here. This brings up the question, why are you a monk and you eat meat? Well, somebody donated this baby, and it is what it is. It's not going to come back to life if I throw it away. It's not going to serve me, and it's not going to serve the person that wants to donate for me to go, no, you're an awful person. You killed this bird. It's not going to help the monk cause. It's not going to help the teachings of Buddha. It's not going to help that person. I can talk to them about killing and whatnot. Certainly, I do approach it cautiously. But you have to know the right time to say things. You have to have a sense of when to approach stuff, I think. It's, this goes back to the teaching of Buddha where he says, these are the things that tell me whether or not I should say something. It's going, is it true? Is it factual? Something factually understood? Is it something that is productive? Is it something that is going to be received well? Is it something? Here's one more thing. I'm so sorry. Sometimes my mind gets a little clouded. I take medication and whatnot. I apologize. I generally just talk off the top of my head. I don't have stuff prepared. So it's not the polished. You get the real here. You can go watch somebody read his notes and tell people what they want to hear in front of a crowd. Do it. Why not? But if you want the real, you need to be sitting with me Saturday. And if you have any questions or comments or whatever, throw them in there. Maybe I'll see it. If I see it, I'll respond. Why not? So I got this giant ass turkey, and I got all of these charcoal. You see? It's over here. Charcoal briquettes. I filled it up before I turned on the live. I'm going to read the teaching of Buddha once I get this stuff started. And I apologize for not having it started already. I appreciate your patience. This is a thing where I realize I'm probably not getting to it as fast as I normally do, and I apologize. This is a more relaxing talk I'm doing with you guys. It's not fast, hard hitting business. We're just having a relaxing time here. Sitting around with a monk, talking about the teachings of Buddha. I left off, saying Buddha has like 5 things that tell him whether or not he should say something, and one of them is knowing the right time. You know, I give an example of you might be at a funeral and a guy was an ornery SOB. Well, maybe you don't tell everybody he's an ornery SOB. Maybe you don't be the first one to offer that, huh? Not saying you can't confirm it if it's topic of conversation, it's accepted, but have a sense of when to say stuff. Maybe that person owed you money. Maybe they were a habitual liar. Maybe they were a whore. You know, maybe the funeral's not the time to talk about all that stuff. Maybe they owed you $5. I think the grill's going to take a while. Why don't we go ahead and start with the top? Yeah. Grab paper. That's what I'm going to do. Hot, stacking hot coals. Yes. I had kind of a day today. A lot of things didn't go the way I wanted. Did I still do it? Did I stay disciplined? Did I do what was right instead of what was easy? That's what I did. That is what I did. And I'm pretty happy about that. I'm sitting there. I guess one of the high points of what I'm talking about right now is when I'm sitting there at the coffee shop. There's an hour left at the coffee shop before it closes. I could sit there and drink coffee. I could play video games, browse, whatever, talk to people online, some fairly pleasurable stuff. Or I could be responsible and go get that charcoal and get out to that park and get my sit with me Saturday, be there for people. So here I am. I'm going to let the charcoal do its thing while we talk about that particular teaching. All right. I don't really prepare for this stuff, but of course I do use the book, Middling Discourses of Buddha. You can look at the nice background. You don't necessarily have to gawk at me. Let's see. Buddha was at Jedda's Grove, basically. Oh, excuse me. venerable, meaning elder monk, Kunda, got up from meditation, went to Buddha. After paying his respects to him, he sat down to one side, which was the custom. People basically formed a line with the guest of honor in the middle, and they sat to the sides and uh, generally had like a rug in front of them, or if it was fancy, a table in front of them where they could set things down, and they liked to eat together, have snacks, that kind of thing. So anyway, it was a thing with royals and with gurus. You're showing respect in society, going directly right up to them, showing your respect, basically bowing down. Some people took a knee, and some people went both knees face on the ground, kind of thing. In any case, it was a thing of respect, and you did not walk behind a royal or a guru. You walked off to the side, and you sat on the end, paying respect also to the people that got there before you, uh, that had closer access to the royal or guru. Uh, so I think I've explained it fairly well so that you get it. If you imagine a king sitting at a table, uh, nobody sitting on the opposite side of him. The rug going up the middle of the room to the king. You'd go, you'd kneel down, you'd say whatever. You'd go off to one side, you'd find your seat, you'd sit. You might try to talk to him directly. You might wait until everything's over. Kind of an event kind of thing. Alrighty. Well, anyway, Buddha says to the guy, yeah, various concepts will arise associated with the doctrines of self or with doctrines about the world, these kind of teachings. He was asking Buddha, he says, does abandoning and letting go of these views come about because the monk is attending to his beginning meditation training? He says those views arise, which are under, and they are exercised on, and you act on them, as seen as it actually is with the proper wisdom. It's this way. It says, this is not mine. This. I am not that thing, and this is not myself. Then abandoning and letting go of those views can happen. Now he's going to go into some detail here. He's saying it's possible that quite so secluded from sensual pleasures, secluded from unwholesome states, that monk enters and abides in the first state of mind you get when you're meditating, the first progress point, I guess, which is accompanied by applied and sustained thought with pleasure, bliss, born of seclusion. And the monk might think, well, I'm abiding and letting it go. I'm doing that right now. But it's not these attainments that are called letting go in the discipline of Buddha. These are called pleasant abidings here and now. He's calling the difference there. He's saying, yeah, you meditate, you get these states of mind, different levels or guide points that are just generally happen to people when they have a meditation practice. But these are here and now experiences. It's not. Hasn't changed you in that way that you're talking about. The second state of mind, which has confidence, singleness of mind, without applied or sustained thought, pleasure, bliss, that kind of thing, born of concentration. And he might think, oh, I'm letting all those things go. But these are called pleasant abidings here and now in the teachings of Buddha. He's saying once again. So he goes to the third, fourth, fifth, all these states of mind here. Let's since it's also meditation we're talking about, let me go through those states of mind that Buddha's talking about you get as you have a meditation practice. let me back up. So I start with the first one. He's saying sustained thought, basically a concentration focus. And some of these things double up because of the way they're translated. And it could be important exactly what they are. And I should retranslate this stuff so American English people can understand better. But the general gist of it is definitely there. And you definitely can get the productive end of it. Uh, Self confidence, single mind. For the second, equanimity and mindful state, which is neither pain nor pleasure, and purity of mindfulness due to that equanimity. Then there's surmounting of perceptions of form, with the disappearance of perceptions of sensory impact, with non-attention to perceptions of diversity, aware that space is infinite. Monk enters on and abides in the base of infinite space. I know that sounds like somebody's on hallucinogenics, doesn't it? It's not translated very well. Hope you're following. You can ask questions, of course. Uh, let's see. Abides in the base of infinite consciousness, aware that there is nothing. That's not really what it says. It says aware of a void, of a place of nothing. Enters on and abides in that base of nothingness. That's kind of better translated there. Yeah, abides in base of neither perception nor non-perception. These are called peaceful abidings in the Noble One's discipline, not the letting go. Now he talks about these ways that you can let go. It's like, well, what can I do? It's like, well, these things should be practiced by you. So practice. Big surprise, right? Buddha says a life practice is something that helps you out. Uh, he is saying that sitting down on a meditation pillow or whatever helps you out, but there's the full range that you need uh, for your own personal transformation. Says others will be cruel, and we will not be cruel here. Letting go should be practiced that way. Uh, Others will kill living beings. We will abstain from killing living beings here. Letting go should be practiced that way. And there's these things. Letting go is practiced this way. Other people will do this. You're not going to do that. Pretty simple, right? Well, let's go through it, and there'll be some crossover and some duplication you might catch on to because of the translation. But pretty good stuff. Others will take what is not given to them, stealing, basically. Others will be uncelibate. They'll engage in wrongful sexual activity. Others will speak falsehood. They will lie. Yes. Others will speak maliciously. Yeah, hurtfully, intentionally that way. We're not going to do that. Others will be an ass. It says speak harshly, but be an asshole is really what they're saying. And if you look at the language it's written in, it is pretty clear. I get why they didn't say that, but let's be real here, because this is the real. Others will gossip. Others will be covetous. Others will have ill will. Others will be of wrong view. And all these things say we will, we will not do that, and letting go should be practiced this way. As we continue here, others will be of wrong intention. Others will be of wrong speech. Others will be of wrong action. It's a list, so buckle up. Others will be of wrong livelihood. Others will be of wrong effort. Others will be of wrong mindfulness. Others will be of wrong concentration. Others will be of wrong knowledge. That's not translated that well. Others will be of wrong deliverance. The things they make manifest, that they bring forward, let's say. Others will be lazy and useless. Others will be restless. Others will be doubters. They'll be angry, resentful, contemptuous, insolent, envious, living vicariously through others. They'll be fraudulent. They'll be deceitful, obstinate, arrogant, difficult to satisfy. They'll have bad friends. They'll be negligent. They'll be faithless. They'll be shameless. They'll have no fear of doing the wrong thing. They'll be of very little learning. They won't study. They'll be lazy. They'll be unmindful. They'll lack wisdom. They'll adhere to their own views. They'll be stuck on those things. He continues, I say that even the inclination of mind towards wholesome states is of great benefit. So what should be said of bodily and verbal acts conforming to such state of mind? That's a mouthful. I could write that better. Anyway, he's going on with this concept. The mind should be leaning towards not killing, abstaining from killing living beings. Should be able to start relinquishing things, adhering to the views that let a person do this. That's how we relinquish, move towards the goal. Just as all unwholesome states lead downwards, and all wholesome states lead upwards. Pretty good. A person given to cruelty has non-cruelty to lead him upwards. So one thing leads you down, the other thing leads you up. Pretty simple, And let's see. Oh, he gives an example. You're going to like this. Buddha was pretty good with those metaphors, examples, parables, whatnot. He says, Monk Kunda goes, that one that's sinking into the mud, should try to pull out another person. Let me start over. Kunda, that one who is himself sinking in the mud, should he try to pull another out who is sinking in the mud, it's impossible. If you're stuck in the mud, you're not pulling somebody out of the mud. That one who is himself untamed, undisciplined, with defilements, unextinguished of those bad things. If they should try to tame another, to teach them, to discipline them, to help them, it's impossible. That one who is suffering from these things, who's stuck in them, can help someone else out of them. This, pretty easy examples that this guy gives. Buddha, really sharp fella. I don't have any ambition that I'm gonna get on the level of Buddha in teaching people things, sharing what I know. Don't like to say teaching because that's like an authority thing. And I don't think there should be teachers or gurus. I think there should be people that share. They're your friends. If there's something good, they share it with you. I can understand that the title teacher throwing that in there, or guru, but it's an unhealthy dynamic, putting somebody above and somebody below necessarily. We're equal here. Nobody's beliefs are more right because they come from them. That's some bullcrap there. Sorry, talking the real here again. Let's see. He says, so the way of letting things go is taught by me. The way of inclining the mind has been taught by me. The way of avoidance has been taught by me. The way of leading upwards has been taught by me. And the way of extinguishing has been taught by me. Bam. Mic drop, right? What should be done for his disciples out of compassion by a teacher who seeks their welfare and has compassion for them, that I have done for you, Monk Kunda. There are those roots of trees, those empty huts. Go and meditate. He's saying go in solitude and meditate on this stuff. He says, don't delay, do it right now, or else you'll regret it later. This is our instruction to you. Anyway, he was happy to hear that from Buddha. So that's just an example of Buddha hanging out with his monks, and then somebody asking him something and him answering, and them memorizing that interaction with Buddha. And I would imagine coming back another time and saying, remember when you were talking about this thing? Could you mention what you were talking about again? You know, um, anybody that thinks this stuff is a word for word thing of the words of Buddha, I'm sorry. I don't see it. I don't see it. It's not reasonably factual that such a thing could happen. Um, are there odds? Sure. Are they slim? Almost impossible. Come on. They admit that these things were written down from the remembrance of people as they gave these talks to other people again and again and again. And they got together and refined what they were saying, of course. But it was, 200, 250 years later, when these monks got together and said, okay, remember that thing he was talking about, the difference between what you get when you meditate and what you get when you're living your life practice. What was that talk again? And so they recited these things, and several monks actually would recite that same teaching the way they thought it went. And then this council of people from the different Buddhist monasteries were there, and they judged which one of those they thought was the correct version. And then that person would basically dictate that to scribes who would write it down, and that's what the teachings of Buddha are that we have today. So it was like a democratically agreed upon version of different monks giving a basic talk, and they picked the version they liked the best. So give up thinking that's the words of Buddha, therefore it's correct, therefore it's the best way to say it. No. We got to be factual about these things. We've got to be skeptical. And this is a major difference between Buddhism and Christianity or Islam or even Wicca or Satanism is pretty open-minded these days. Yeah, don't quote me out of context on that one. But anyway, well, maybe I'd blow up then, right? Reach a lot of people. Uh, oh my. Anyway, difference between Buddhism and Christianity in that is that in Buddhism, Buddha is teaching you to be fact-based, have a reason, and investigate things yourself, figure them out, test them, and find out the truth that way, and talk about it together. You want to compare notes as equals, and you don't want to just go, oh, I'm right, and here it is, the truth. Make way for the truth. Shut up, because this is the truth. I know it, so shut the hell up. I got it. I'm giving it to you. No. You want to approach things knowing you might be completely wrong. Maybe you really believe in something and you want to preach it, and that's great. But leave room. Leave room to be absolutely wrong, to be stupid on the subject and unaware, and you don't know it. Think about how many times that's happened in your life where you really thought you had something buttoned down, you knew it, and then somebody came along and, oh, I'm an idiot, didn't know. So I appreciate you guys stopping by. I sent out a thing that I don't normally send out, a thing with lists of people so they could be aware that I was going to be on. Normally I don't do that. Normally I don't like advertise or anything at all. But each Saturday I do this where I go through one of the particular teachings of Buddha. This one was MN8 from the Mid-Length Discourses, Mid-Length Talks of Buddha. And so I go through a talk and I talk something about meditation. This time it was right in the teaching itself, but I talk about different methods, different things you can expect. But like I said, I'm not looking to exceed what Buddha was doing. even though we don't have like a direct quote on these things from him, so many concepts come through. It's just freaking incredible. The amount of transformative stuff that Buddha comes out with. And so many of these books that you see, so many of these self-help gurus, these, you know, new age woo-woo crazed people on different topics, uh, uh, they have a little bit of this teaching, of that teaching. And the teachings of Buddha were so freaking vast that you could definitely study the whole thing, every version, because there's different versions of the same teachings, even many of them. You could go your whole life and not really have them click, definitely. Not have them all click. Some of these teachings I read the first time and I'm like, yeah, I get that. That's pretty simple. That's, duh. I went through it, and I was reading through again, and I went through it, and I was like, wait, what? Did he just say? Is this concept? What's going on here? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was. I didn't catch on. Didn't click. I wasn't ready for it. So sometimes I urge people, I'm going to do it again. If you're going to look and say, oh, what did Buddha say on something? Yeah, go ahead and look through it. Get what you can get. But you know, the basket might be full. Might not be able to throw any more apples in there just yet. You might have to digest. You might have to mentally crunch a little bit, mentally build the basis for understanding, and then understand instead of expecting it to just drop on you like a ton of bricks. Uh, could it? Sure. Is it gonna? Probably not. Not tough concepts. I mean, some people are having difficult concepts with, is the world round or is it flat? Um, I could give examples and offend a lot of people. I'm going to refrain from that. I don't think it's the right time to be doing that. If there is a right time, just drop it like that. But there's a lot of nonsensical beliefs out there in the world, and mm, mm, mm. I'd like to deconstruct those things, and I do from time to time. Uh, let's deconstruct one right now. How does a monk think? Here we go. Um, Astrology. The planets have an effect on us, in the way we develop, in our attitudes, the way we are, physical attributes, all kinds of things. No, I'm sorry. Well, how did I arrive at that? Did I just go, you know what, that sounds stupid? So, no. And, it's hard to fault the person for doing it, but no. I was like, I want to believe that. I'm going to admit it. No, I want to believe that. So I go and I go, well, let me look around. Let me get some firsthand anecdotal evidence on what's going on. And I was finding a bunch of evidence. I'd read something about my particular thing. I'm like, yeah, that I'm like that. And read something about somebody else. Yeah, I think they're like that. And then I went scientifically and went, okay, what are the astrological signs of these people? What are their natal charts? I even figured out how to make astrological charts from when a person's born and where they're born. Um, and I didn't get good at it, but passable to just look stuff up. And so anyway, no, it wasn't clicking. It. I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I kept trying to make it fit. Kept trying to make these general things like you're a good person, but you find that people don't really appreciate you sometimes. Okay, that's everybody. And so there's a lot of these things in these descriptions. And if you look at the scientific studies, it's been done again and again. You can look at how they're scientific, how they're run in an unbiased way, and then the data that comes off of them. And you find that no, no, astrology doesn't actually have any known effect. And all of it is very random. Um, there's these thin tolerances of doubt, but pretty much non-existent, you know. And I wanted to believe that. Man, I wanted to believe that. I don't know. You guys probably have beliefs that you really want to be true. You're not sure. Factually, I don't know, but I really want to believe that. And so I got to urge you to look and see if you can factually believe it. Now, I'm gonna back up here for a second, and it's gonna shock somebody, I'm sure. But what if I can't prove it's factual and I still want to believe it? Can I prove it's not factual? Well, in this case, I can prove it's not factual. What if I could? What if I couldn't prove it wasn't factual? What if I wanted to believe that there was a benevolent monster made of spaghetti that lives in the sky, that's invisible, and that controls a lot of stuff, that does good stuff for people? Okay, why not? Somebody believes it. All right. Now there's a lot of beliefs out there. You got Mormons, you got those Scientology people with the alien business. Um, you got people worshiping tree spirits. You got people worshiping particular deities. Um, you got beliefs in entire deity systems. I mean, you still have some followers of like A Manard Ra and the Allfather and you know Odin and the Allfather and goddess Hecate, ancient Egyptian goddess Bast. There's actually people out there of these religions still. Not very many, but of some of those. But there's a lot of beliefs out there, and you have to try to respect it. Uh, and you might approach it not staying on topic as well as I should, not describing things as succinctly as I should probably. But this belief that I have, I can't prove it's not true. I can't prove it's true. I want to believe it. Should I believe it? Well, there's no harm in it. Okay. But you need more than that, really. No harm. Come on. If there's something that can be asserted without evidence, it can be dismissed without evidence, usually. Um, you want to have a reason to go down a rabbit hole. And boy, I sure had one on the astrology. Um, you say to yourself, I can't prove it, I can't disprove it, I want to believe it. Well, I got a triple test you can put on it. You have proof it's wise, it's a smart thing, it's a good thing, it's productive, it really is something that's produced, it's good from it, and it's good for everybody. So nobody's going to get uh, hurt by this. So it's wise, it's productive, it's good for everybody. And I want to believe it. Can't prove it's not true, can't prove it is true. Hey, I'm telling you, believe it all day long. All day long. Who wouldn't want the world to be a better place? Who wouldn't want people to be better off? Whether or not it's true, then is purely academic. You can argue about that among philosophers if you want. But as far as I'm concerned, who gives a crap? Honestly, honestly. You got people, especially in today's world, going after each other for beliefs and stuff. But, oh, you idiot, you believe this. You couldn't do that because you're stupid. Okay. Well, why? Why do you care? You know, is it really conductive to bad in society? Well, maybe it is. Okay, pursue it. Otherwise, uh, maybe mind your own business. Uh, might not be popular with a few people, but there it is. I appreciate you coming by for sit with me Saturday, hanging out with a monk for a while. If you have any questions or you have a topic that you wanted to discuss, you can go ahead and put that in. Looks like one, two, three, four, five people today. Appreciate it. We got Diana, we got Andy, we got Brandon, we got Tim, and we got Robert. Anybody has anything they wanted to bring up? Go ahead. Of course, be nice, be reasonable, which can be a tough ask in society these days. All right, I'm not seeing anything, so I'm going to recap just for a moment before I run off. So the teaching was about, hey, I'm starting meditation. Is this meditation gonna fix it so I don't have these afflictions of being lazy or anxiety or whatever? Uh, Buddha's like, no. There's these things you can get from meditation, but that's not how it is. You're gonna have to do a life practice where you do the right thing, where you do what's smart, what's going to lead to letting those things go. Killing, lying, stealing, whoring, so on and so forth. Uh, Things that we know objectively are not for the better. Factually, we know. I think everybody's done enough investigation to know basic things. So anyway, the monk goes to Buddha, asks if that's true. Buddha says no. He says you got to do this stuff. You got to do the work. You got to live the life practice. You're going to get good stuff out of meditation at different guideposts. I don't want to say levels like it's a staircase, but generally there's a chronological development that people go through when they meditate, different experiences that they have. We all have this basic hardware and hardwiring of the human, the monkey brain, and you're going to have to deal with that monkey brain. And you want to get it to do what you want it to do, but it's going to happen in steps. You're not gonna crack a whip and tell that monkey to do what you want, and he's going to do it. No, that's not how it works. You can try that, and some people have had some success, but they've had some really disastrous results too, sooner or later. I don't know of anybody that's done that for a lifetime practice and not had just catastrophic problems. Got to learn to love yourself. Can't be using the stick all the time with yourself, and not the carrot. The stick being discipline, reprimand, the carrot being the lure, the bait, the good thing, the satisfaction. You got to have both the carrot and the stick in order to move forward. And the many jobs I did, many of them were managerial, uh, over employees, and yeah, I see a lot of crossover with that. A lot big parable or metaphor there. Uh, you want people to learn skills, and you want them to be good at the job. How do you get them to do that? What general things can you do to get them in the pocket, get them productive, get them hopefully happy in what they're doing? And you got to use the carrot and the stick. You want to provide a structure, a discipline, but you also want to throw some good stuff in there for them. So it goes like that. Anyway, should a good Buddhist abstain from worship? Great question. No. I'm just going to say no. But I'm going to explain now, how does the monk brain work? How did I arrive here? It matters who. Generally, I'd say no. Matters what? Is this worship something that you can prove it's wise, it's productive, it's good for everybody? If you can, then why would I not want you to do that? Who would suggest you stop? I don't know. Somebody who's got something wrong with them, I think. Someone who's under a wrong impression. It's a big thing where people think, well, it's Buddhist against Christianity, against Islam, against Satan and every other thing. No, Buddhism is not against any particular thing. The worst thing Buddha said was, if you're going to pray to ask for stuff, you can't count on it. You should know you can't count on it. You should be doing what you should be doing to do your life. I I could go into that in depth, but I think you get what I'm saying. People worship Jesus or Krishna. I don't know, maybe Xenu. I don't know if the Scientologists are actually worshiping. I assume they're worshiping something. Um, there could be all these different names for different gods. If I think you should worship money, I think you're going down the wrong road. Um, but people that are very active in different religious communities have that concern where they're thinking, if I listen to the Buddhists, if I talk to the monk, I'm going to get lured into something. I'm going to get tricked into being bad to myself or being bad to my deity or whatever, my life practice. Uh, no, no, not looking to take you away from anything in particular. You're going to have to work things out for yourself. Obviously, some of the pursuits people have are not good for people, not wise, not productive, not good for everybody. Would force them to be violent, to murder, even. We're not going to go there. We're not going to start pointing fingers at things right here. But I think everybody knows that this is true. That in the range of people, there are some that are absolutely unreasonable and freaking ridiculous. Um, but most people are not. Absolutely, most people are not ridiculous. We got that going for us, right? As a species, we might actually be too stupid to live. The jury is still out on that one. We have not settled it. Going to be clear on that, but um, I have some faith. I have hope. I have hope. I have hope, and I have some faith that there are enough decent people and enough smart people on the planet that we are not going to make ourselves extinct. But I know I could be wrong. I know I could be wrong. Let's see. Doesn't look like there's any other questions or anything. I know this has been a long talk. Um, if you've zoned out and you're coming back, welcome back. Just signing off here. I got a phone application called Ask Buddha for Android. If you want to get that at the Google Play Store, it's got Buddha quotes. You can also ask questions. Everybody that uses it a couple of times, I put coins in there so they can ask questions. They can get the question of who answered from whoever. What did Buddha say about something or a particular monk? What's the opinion about this on society or that topic? Whatever. And within a couple of weeks, they can get an answer with references. You could go to AI these days on stuff like that, but AI doesn't know. AI knows what most people say. And if what most people said was the answer, we would not be here. This would not be the case. The world would not be the way it is. And it certainly is the way it is. All right. Well, I appreciate you stopping by for Sit With Me Saturday. Every Saturday evening I do this, although the time differs. And I'm trying to reach people that are looking to be receptive and hang out. Maybe discuss something. All right. Once again, appreciate you. It's a great day to be alive.